unmute themselves. Otherwise, kindly, everyone mute. It may be disturbing for many. Thank you so much. A very, very good morning and wishing everyone a happy Mahatma Gandhi Jayanti. Thank you for signing up on a Sunday and among the festivities around. We appreciate and are indeed thankful. My name is Binali Suhandani. I'm the advisor, mentor, well-wisher, and all the titles that come on the good side of Jeevatam, and also the moderator of the event today. I hold the responsibility of weaving in the speakers, the launch, and the excitement around. Be with us and be a part of the celebration today. Aarambh, meaning a beginning, has been conceived by Jeevatam, which is a technology-led organization with a focus to generate meaningful livelihoods. Aarambh is an audacious initiative, laser-focused on girls and women of India and aims at generating 1 million work opportunities to start with. This is a start, but not an end. Today is the soft launch of all the social assets that we have created to make Aarambh a household name. We chose the day today as it resonated two important things. Mahatma Gandhi Jayanti, the man who respected women and spoke of women and the youth power. And today is also the 7th day of Navaratri, which is popularly known as Mahasaptami. A goddess who is revered for destroying ignorance and removing darkness from the universe. We couldn't have thought of a better day than this. I will not take the thunder away from all the speakers because they have something very interesting to share it with all of you. They're going to be having some impressive things to be sharing and sharing their perspectives about the Aarambh initiative. As we move ahead, a few points to note. Please keep yourself muted as it may be disturbing to others. We are going to see the launch of many things today. In case if you have any questions, you would want to see or hear something again, please write to us. The team will respect it and see if we can encourage your request. To the speakers of the day, kindly respect your time slots that have been allotted as we would want to manage this time and the event beautifully. I now move on and start the program of the day as planned. I would want to welcome Mr. Muralidharan Rajamani, who is the board member at Jeevatam. Board member is just a title that he holds. He comes in with a lot of experience from the industry in banking, financial services, and insurance. He has worked in leadership development and is a board member of many companies. He brings a lot of goodwill. He brings a lot of experience and has been an immense backbone to the organization. I invite him to welcome everyone on behalf of Jeevatam and also launch the helpline number, which will be instrumental in connecting women to the Aarambh platform. Over to you, sir, for your kind words.
Sir, you are on mute. Sir, you're on mute.
The host had to allow me to unmute. That's the reason I was not able to speak. Welcome everyone for the launch of the very, very ambitious and audacious initiative like Munish would like to describe it. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And good morning. And we couldn't have chosen this is an Aarambh. And the commencement couldn't have happened on a better day than this, on the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. And somebody who said that if you find a purpose, the resources will follow. And it's our fond hope that today what we are launching as a very, very large initiative would actually be a force which will come to be reckoned with in the next few years to come. And today is the beginning of that day. The Jeevitam journey started off in 2018. Actually, was triggered by this wanting to provide livelihood to people, and therefore um, therefore the organization which started off as a startup wanting to help people has become a movement in the month of July when we launched the Sambal. That is when most of the people who work with us and people who are partners in the progress that we want to make in creating a platform for livelihood seekers and those who provide opportunities for livelihood coming together. There was a germ of thought which happened at that point in time when Jeevitam was, we had floated this thought saying that could we create a large opportunity for the women in the country who can actually come in and find opportunities for livelihood. And that was the thought which actually triggered off this very large initiative on Gandhi Jayanti Day. One of the ideas which has come to thing is how do you create, find, and offer an opportunity for people to come in and find an honorable livelihood. And this initiative is actually going to be the one which makes that come alive for people. Such a large initiative entails resources in the form of partners who come and mobilize women, partners who come and create opportunity, organizations that will actually train them to make them eligible and be able to fulfill their aspirations, and partners who actually would make sure that they find something to their liking at a place that they live at their doorstep. This, I think, is a project will actually run across multiple years, and that is going to be pretty important for not just us, for the nation building that all of us as a country are up to. My belief is that the declaration of intent today and the declaration of purpose will attract the resources which are required for people to come in and work with us and partner with us for an organization like Jeevitam. That is going to be extremely important, and that makes us very, very grateful for those dignitaries on the dais today. Ramesh, Rishikesh, Mr. Dahiya, James, Binali, thank you so much for anchoring all this. And my sense is that with such powerful institutions, policymakers, advocates coming in, this movement will actually find its spot in the sun. And when you spot the women, understand their aspiration, and be able to help them work with us, I'm sure this will become a force multiplier. I'm sure what we are going to witness in the next couple of years when this progresses, and it will be a transformation. And the helpline which is getting launched for the women, I'm sure for the purpose it serves, will no longer dignitaries and the people who have come on a Sunday. Binali mentioned it very clearly. You could have chosen to be elsewhere today, but the commitment that you have for this cause. Thank you so much for being here at this moment when Jeevitam is attempting to do this. My colleagues Vikas and Manish and Rashmi, I'm sure you and the team have put together enormous amount of initiatives. I'm sure, like if I go back to what Mahatmaji said, we have found a purpose. I'm sure resources will follow. There's another diminutive, large statured man whose birthday works today, Shastri Ji. And I end this with the hope that he had, that discipline and united action are the real source of strength for any country. I'm sure when this pans out and we see this thing, there's a favorite quote of Ayn Rand, which I know, when this movement actually benefits, it will not be a question of the women saying, who is going to let me? It's not a question, it's a question of who can stop me. That's the power this moment is going. Thank you so much for having me on this inaugural day. I wish you a great year and success. Stay safe. Thank you so much. I also take this opportunity to inaugurate the life and the helpline 011 411 94455. Thank you, Binali, and over to you. And welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for those encouraging words. I think encouragement comes in a big package when it comes from you. It comes in with a lot of blessings as well. And I would just want to pick up a few words which which really hit me, and probably I'm going to imbibe them, is what you talked about, the powerful purpose, the announcement of a powerful purpose. Absolutely. It's a purpose, and it's a very powerful purpose. We all talk about women empowerment. We talk about gender equity, but we are probably traveling and walking that path now, and we're together in that powerful purpose. You also talked about the idea it's transformational. Absolutely. Women will transform this country and the nation, and we're here to back them up. And surely it's going to be transformational in nature and will change the livelihood landscape, because we're looking at a livelihood from a very different lens. We're just reaching out to them the way they want to see it, the way they want to embrace it. It's very tailor-made to their requirements. And you talked about the force multiplier. With all of you together, surely it's all super forces coming together, and we very well appreciate that. Thank you so much for all that you shared with us, and thank you for launching this helpline number, which is going to be a long way, and will be used by very, very widely, and we're trying to make this probably much more memorable than anything else. Thank you so much, sir, for all that you do for us. We really appreciate. Moving on from what we heard from Muralidharan sir, we are now embracing another talk from Mr. Munish Chawla and Rishikesh Patankarji. These are the two forces behind, if you see, the Aarambh initiative, who are willing to go that extra mile, if you may say that, to bring this difference to the world of women and girls. Munish, who is the co-founder and chief happiness officer, and I love that designation, as I always say this, is the chief happiness officer at Jivitam. And he's probably his heart and soul. He eats, breathes, and sleeps Jivitam. So that's where he is, and that's the passion that he brings to the life of Jivitam, is what I can say. And Rishikesh ji, with all that he does, and he's a super busy man, but he never forgets to do his cycling, and he never forgets to do his sporting as well. And whenever you look at the LinkedIn post, every time he's inaugurating something. So the kind of business that man lives his life, but whenever you want to reach out to them, he's available. The kind of I would say, approach that he has, the kind of easiness that he brings whenever you talk to him. He is, by the way, also the CEO of CSE Academy and COO Education at the CSE. That's his official designation, but a man who is as simple as no one else. So Rishikesh ji, thank you so much for all that support that CSE brings to us and the rigor of things that you bring to us. So I'd hand over the platform to both of you, both passionate people in your work, the forces, as I call it, the twin forces, Munish Chawla and Rishikesh Patankar, who will share with us the vision and the plans of Aarambh. Over to you.
Thank you, Binali. Thanks for the introduction, and a very warm welcome to everyone. This is an Aarambh, an initiative to help women in livelihood. For this initiative, it is a joint initiative of CSC Academy and Jivitam. I will like Rishikesh to first talk about this whole, about CSC, about the whole initiative and his viewpoints. For me, CSC Academy, partnering with CSC Academy is not only a pride, but I'm sure the partnership, the value which CSC brings into the table is immense. For me, CSC kind of enormous work CSC has done. I keep saying to Rishikesh sir, they do not know about it. So not taking much time, I will like Rishikesh sir to share his perspective about the whole thing. Rishikesh, over to you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Jivitam, for inviting me. And I am privileged to talk in this forum. As we are aware, India is a large rural market with diversity and lot of inclusivity. Multiple states, blocks, gram panchayats, and villages. And India becomes prominently a rural economy with 70% of the workforce in the rural areas. And the rural economy constitutes approximately 46% of the national income to the exchequer. And despite the rise of urbanization, more of the half of India's population is projected to be rural by 2050. That is what the reports of Niti Aayog say. CSCs, the Common Service Centers, are part of the larger Digital India program, and they have been made available at the ground level so that people, citizens in the rural areas can get most of the services at their doorstep. And that is the vision of the Government of India, where our Honorable Prime Minister is talking about Sarkar Aapke Dwar. That means government at the doorstep of a particular household and getting all the services then and there. CSCs have a large network, almost now 5.75 lakh, that is 575,000 common service centers across the length and breadth of the country, and servicing the people. There are more than 400 services which CSCs are delivering on the ground. And in fact, out of that, nearly 20% of the common service center operators are women. So women are managing a larger part of the services which are getting delivered, both the government services and the B2C and other services which are part of the CSC channel. If you see the overall movement of Digital India is a program to transform the country into digitally powered society and knowledge economy. And yesterday only, Honorable Prime Minister was launching the 5G, and he has talked about various services and people getting empowered. As today is Mahatma Gandhi's Jayanti, and in fact, in our school days, we used to read the NCERT books where there was a page on Gandhiji's talisman, that just think about the person, whatever you are doing, think about the person, whether the last mile person will get benefit from any of the endeavors or any project which you do. I think if that is true to today only, because we are transforming digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizens. We are empowering citizens with a lot of digital services, and the Digital India push to achieve the 5 trillion economy is here now. There are a lot of services which have come, and the government says to achieve seamless delivery of services through digital governance becomes very important. And today in the Aarambh program, we are largely helping and supporting the women of the country, and almost now 48%, 49% of the population is women. And CSCs have been working in the women empowerment projects and a lot of other projects where women have got benefited. The arm which CSC is working is called the CSC Academy, which is a society and has all the approvals of implementing projects across the country. CSCs have been instrumental in implementing larger programs for women empowerment. This includes sanitary pad manufacturing units which have been placed at the village level so that people can benefit from them. Then there are a lot of projects where women have benefited from the implementation, that is digital literacy. In fact, we are implementing the world's largest digital literacy program called Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan, where more than 54% of the participants are women, in fact. And there was no control as such, but automatically large number of women have actually turned up into the digital literacy program. And I think the three important phases for on the ground to implement is the education, the livelihood generation, and the healthcare piece. And I think in livelihoods, as we are talking about the financial inclusion part, the pension, banking, insurance, and the financial facilitation becomes very important. And as we are starting this Aarambh program, I think we need to salute all the women of the country, and we should strive to help all the women who participate in this Aarambh program and give them the dignity, the livelihood, and the empowerment with the objective of basically empowering their lives at the ground level. That is from my side. Over to you, Manish ji.
Thank you, sir. I keep saying, CSC is the hidden jewel of Government of India. The kind of work, Mr. Rishikesh is very modest always, when he talks about the amazing work CSC has been doing across India. 40 crore Aadhaar registration, 27 crore people who are registered on e-Shram portal, 17 crore has been registered by CSC Academy, CSC. So I think CSC has done amazing work. CSC is also, they have CSC Foundation, which is, empowered to take money from the CSRs across the India. So I think CSC being our partner for this initiative, when we were looking at Aarambh and we were looking at the number, so we started with, okay, why don't we look at impacting 1 million? That's where with CSC coming in, Rishikesh said, let us say at least 1 million, right? Because the percentage of population in India is huge about the women, and I think there is a big problem. See, when we were women workforce participation in India is around 18%, and it has to grow. That is the big problem we are having. We thought, we should do something, our bit about it, because everyone is there who is working. There has to be, we have to do our bit to increase the women workforce participation in India. So when we were looking at, broadly, we were looking at two things, right? Beti bachao, beti padhao, uske baad kya? So we believed, beti ko swalambi banao is the next logical step. That's what we believe, right? So beti bachao, beti padhao, beti ko swalambi banao. So I think that is basically, captures the aspirations of the young girls of India. Main hu Bharat ki beti, main banna chahti hu swalambi. I think that captures the essence. At the same time, we also analyze that there are women who are in different phases of life, right? And they also want to be self-dependent. Women who have got married, women who have children have grown up and moved away, women who are in the mid phase of life, they also want to be self-dependent. So, main hu Bharat ki nari banna chahti hu Atmanirbhar. I think these are the two themes, right, which we are looking at, to take it forward. And when we are looking at main hu Bharat ki nari banna chahti hu Atmanirbhar, right, I think here we are again looking at innovations. Post this crisis, one of the innovations which have come courtesy this crisis is work from home. I think this opens for the woman to there, right? And the most important thing is we have to give the choice to the woman, right? If she, wants to work, go out for work, she should have a choice. She should have an option. If she wants work to come to her home, she should have a choice. A few hours, she should have a choice. If she wants to work from anywhere, she should have a choice. She wants to choose a trade, she should have a choice. I think it is important, right, what she wants. And when we were looking at, there was another this 18% who is actually working, right? I keep saying this 18% women, they are inspiration, right? On the one side where मैं हूँ भारत की बेटी बनना चाहती हूँ स्वावलंबी और मैं हूँ भारत की नारी बनना चाहती हूँ आत्मनिर्भर. On one side there is an inspiration, and on the other side there are 18% women who are the inspiration. If we look into, the idea is, if in India 18% of working women help one woman become self-dependent, I think we are doing. That is the simplest idea, and we are seeing a lot of things happening on that side. See, we all believe that we are onto something big, something, really what we say audacious, right? That is there. I think this initiative probably is the beginning of a movement, and that's all we are calling this initiative Aarambh. I think this is a beginning of something new, a shuruat, I call it, right? That's a way which is there. This is for everyone to come together. I have seen, I've been in this space for some time now, and I've seen there are amazing people, there are amazing organizations who have done great work, who are doing great work in this space. The idea is to bring them all together. Idea is to give them a plug and play platform. Idea is to, let them contribute as per their capacity. We are calling it Yatha Shakti, right? You are a corporate or a startup. We are asking, we are inviting all the corporates and startups. Please share, right? We'll help them find work seekers across India. You are a government body, CSC joint partner, right? I think that is something which we need to take away. We have National Career Services into it. So all the government bodies across the country are invited to be, you're a girls' college, you're a women polytechnic, right? You can participate with us, right? And we will be able to do job fairs, college placement drives in is our academia partner. You are into skilling, right? You are a skill development firm or you're a sector skill council. You are into we want help to create the capacity building, and as are our partner. You are a CSR, you are a foundation, and you are working in diversity inclusion space. You can partner with the Skill Build is our philanthropy partner. You are an individual, as I said, you are a woman, right? And you want to, you can partner with us. I keep saying, Yatha Shakti, you have rupees 1 lakh to contribute, right? To this cause, as per your capacity, as per your willingness to do, that option is available over there. Is endless. That's what I believe, right? For this moment to be really audacious, we have also new initiatives like, this, our chairman now launched the women helpline number. Believe me, this number is in languages. What all the women out there, all the women who are there in this particular thing, there is a number 411 94455. It's a simple number. It works in 21 there. We are also launching with the help of Labour Ministry, with CA and all the bodies. We are launching the largest women-centric digital and physical work fairs across the country. We are the world's largest mentor-mentee program, right? Where all the Atmanirbhar are working. They help one woman become self-dependent. And we have also planned for various events, right? All-women motorcycle yatra, or girl colleges across the country, right? We are looking at doing Nukkad Nataks to create awareness. Competition. We are looking at conducting drawing competition, 1 million video competition colleges with the help of CBSE, AICTE. A lot of opportunities and possibilities. I keep saying, the opportunity and the scale is endless. So we have to start somewhere. Let's do Aarambh. Let's do Aarambh to at least help 1 million, help them in getting access to the government's partner. There are 30 odd specific to women and women. We, with support of CSC, will be helping, taking all those schemes to those people, help in capacity building, help in financial inclusion. I think today is 2nd October, right, with Gandhi Jayanti over there. I think we have to let us create the impact and do the Aarambh. Thanks to all for the support. Over to you, Binali. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishikesh, and thank you, Manish. You've said it all. I think there's nothing more that I could add, but just, picking up a few very, very impressive things that Rishikesh talked about: the Sarkar Aapke Dwar, the last mile benefit, and digital is the way forward. Yes, absolutely. That's the way forward, to reach out to what we call them as not so educated, those who are not very well versed with the technology that probably we all And of course, those who are more comfortable to speak in their own languages, let's reach out to them. Women participation has to grow. As I always say, some things just cannot wait. And I think this is exactly the time that we cannot wait and we have to act upon it. And I always refer to what Indra Nui, whom I have, has been, one of the most successful women around. And I think she spoke very well. And I refer back to her incredible potential of woman story, which she talked about, that this is the decade of the woman. And COVID-19 has served to change the play field for women at work. I think this is exactly what we are referring to. There are many opportunities that COVID has showcased. Probably it was all within, but COVID had to happen to showcase that there are much more opportunities beyond this. What Munish talked about, work from home opportunities. If women cannot travel to work, why can't work travel to her? So there are endless possibilities. There are permutations and combinations that we would want to look at. There is nothing very, very fixed about Aarambh. Aarambh is a very, very flexible platform. Everyone has a role to play. As he said, if you have a dime, come to us. If you have a bag full of, whatever ideas, thoughts, monies, come to us. We will always respect, honor, and welcome you to the platform. Thank you so much, Munish and Rishikesh, for adding value to the entire effort of things. We move on from what you shared with us with all of the vigor. We move on to the next speaker and the next social asset that we are trying to launch. I move on and I look upon to Mr. Ramiz Kailasan. What can I say about him? He is, again, we have a group of humble people supporting us and backing us up. He's actually the brains behind many things that we do. He's a spokesperson, a goodwill ambassador for us. And, Mr. Ramiz Kailasan, he holds a lot of responsibility in the sector, comes in with wealth of experience in the sector and has worked on various projects, various sectors, policy changes, government, industry committees, has written and, authored many books and policy papers. So he comes with a bag of experience, but you won't realize it and notice it. There is so much within him with the humbleness that he brings along. And as I always say, the designation that he holds is that he is the president and CEO, indiatech.org. But I think a man who is humble to the core. May I invite Mr. Ramiz Kailasan to honor us today by unveiling the website of Aarambh. It is also vital to share that the website which he's going to showcase and share with all of you is a very basic one, which talks about the mission and the aspirations of Jeevitam. As we are taking off today, you will soon witness this website to look very different day after day as we keep on adding human interest stories of women and girls who will start to join us and become the Aarambh family. Do keep checking, do come and back and visit this website and become our force. Over to you, Ramiz, sir.
Thank you, Binali. I hope I'm audible and clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me today. I think it is indeed a privilege to be part of this important launch that we are witnessing today, even though it is a soft kind of a launch. I would say this is the beginning of a historic journey. We would be adding a historic milestone to the moment, depending on how we progress on this. But I would say that we are part of a historic initiative that we have undertaken. It gives me intense privilege and honor to be part of this and launch the website, which is something which, as this is a journey, we are presuming, and it is a given thing that the website will also evolve and grow on the way. So I launched the website today as part of this initiative, and this is something which will keep building in content as we go along. So I declare the website open for public today. Yeah, so with this opening of the website, this is open for people to view. And this will be something, as I mentioned, will become an important collation of all the activities and access for people to look at on what kind of work will happen in this area. So with this, I move on to a brief address on this historic occasion. And as you all know, I mean, Munish has already spoken a lot, Rishikesh has already spoken and covered a lot of initiatives which I have been as well writing as well. It is important for us to note that the Prime Minister also echoed a lot of things in his recent speech, where he said that for India to use flexible workplaces to encourage a higher number of people, women to work especially, what he said was that the labor force had a key role in realizing the dreams and aspirations of building a developed nation in Amrit Kal, which is the golden age that we are getting into. And therefore, it is very critical that everybody is a participative element in this Amrit Kal that we are getting into. We know for sure that, and this is across the world from research and experience, that if you empower women and if you are able to create avenues for women for livelihood, whether it is a job or a work or a gig or whatever it is, you are adding an extra workforce into the economic momentum of the country. So basically, it's a no-brainer that more and more women coming into the workforce, more and more women coming into being part of grabbing the work opportunities, it can become economic game changer for any country. For example, I mean, there have been studies way back, I remember in 2016, where it was mentioned that if women were to participate in the workforce, in the labor force, in the same proportion as women, for example, the national income of US alone would go up by 5%, which is phenomenal. 9% is in case of Japan, and close to 27 to 30% in case of India. So which means that the potential is pretty phenomenal if India were to adopt this kind of opportunity. And what we are trying to do as part of this initiative, and Jeevitam, CSC and others are doing a phenomenal job moving in that direction, is we are reducing the disadvantage currently that this section of population faces. And studies have also interestingly shown that if you start taking baby steps in 2016, it would take something like 170 odd years. So by that projection, women and men would be on equal terms and contributing to the economy in the year 2186. But I don't think we are having the patience to wait till 2186, and neither knowing Jeevitam and CSC, the pace at which they are working, I'm sure they are not looking at 170-year target, but they are looking at something much, much closer within the next couple of decades. And therefore, I mean, today there are 440 million working age women in India who make up 48% of the Indian population, which needs to equally benefit from the Indian economic growth. There are various schemes that the government has launched. There is also a McKinsey report which says that basically if women were to open up and contribute along with men in India, that could add up easily 770 billion to the India's GDP by as early as 2025. So therefore, their contribution to the economy from a GDP standpoint, which judges on certain basic parameters, is 18%. But just imagine if we move towards an inclusive economy, how phenomenal things can become. And as Mr. Muralidharan also pointed out, the beauty is of this initiative is it reaches where your level of freedom enjoyment stops. So, for example, there are women in India who enjoy varying degrees of freedom, which could be restricted to a house, to a lane, to a mohalla, to a what you call even a city or a town or a district or a state. The beauty of this initiative is this has a potential to reach where they are and make them part of a truly inclusive economy. And therefore, I certainly have high hopes and a belief that we are one of the cog in the wheel and an important step towards helping India move towards that 5 trillion economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramiz sir. Thank you so much for stating the importance in sharing all the data and the statistics. I respect all the data and the statistics that you have shared about our contribution to the women's to the economy of the country and the enhancement of the women participation in the workforce and how we could add value to the entire effort. Thank you so much for also launching the website. And as you rightly said, this will be surely be evolving and they'll get more interesting day by day. On your 2186, absolutely not. We don't have the patience. We're running out of patience. And as I said, we cannot wait anymore. We're just, in a hurry to really achieve what we are for. So I think, yes, the next decade is ours. The next decade is us working together. And I can see already that coming together with all of you together with us, with it together in this mission. So we look forward to be working with all of you in this entire stride. Thank you, Ramiz sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. We move on to the next social asset launch, which is an interesting piece after what we have seen as the national helpline number. We've also seen the website. I would call upon Mr. Sunil Dahiya, who's our guest of honor today to launch the anthem for us. Mr. Sunil Dahiya is the Executive Vice President at the Wadhwani Foundation, a very, very dedicated foundation to the effort that we are embarking on, comes in with a wealth of experience in the sector, has been a huge support to the cause and effort that Jeevitam puts in. Anytime you reach out to Mr. Dahiya, there is always a yes. He will never say that I'm not available. He'll figure out some time or the other to be with us in our mission to actually double up the efforts. So we completely respect and we appreciate your presence, Mr. Dahiya, here today. We look up to you in this entire effort today to help us launch the anthem. And today we are launching this anthem, which narrates the Aarambh story. You will soon hear that, all of you. The same has been prepared in a very, very easy to understand, simple Hindi bhasha, the Hindi language of the country, with a very soothing background score. The anthem is particularly built and has been made to build in the recall value of Aarambh amongst the listeners. We will be promoting this far and wide to popularize it so that we start humming that anthem and it becomes again a household name. May I invite you, Mr. Dahiya, for the honors, please, to launch the anthem and say a few words, sir. Mr. Sunil Dahiya.
Thank you, Benali. Thank you so much. And maybe just a few words before we launch the anthem. First of all, I think thank you so much, and it's an honor, frankly, to be on this call and on this Aarambh of such a huge initiative backed by completely by CSC and Jeevitam. I think it is such an honor to be part of such an event, and that over and above also on a day which is 2nd October, Gandhi Jayanti. What could have been a better day, to start this? So it's my privilege, my honor to be on this, and thank you so much for this. In fact, just a few words. I just thought, just before we play the anthem, I just thought, let me just before you hear the anthem, it's very important for us to the essence which it brings, and the mission, and the theme, and the revolution which it carries for the future, in terms of, it's not just an anthem. It's like ये एक आवाज है, एक मुहिम है, maybe एक जुनून है, as we move forward. जब अभी मतलब थोड़ी देर में, of course, we'll play the anthem. आप उसमें जो एक शब्द उसके अंदर है, उस पर जरा गौर कीजिएगा, in terms of what exactly, how does that mean? So maybe what I'll do is, maybe I'll pause here. Let's play the anthem, and then I can go on after this. So Benali, please, all yours. Please.
Sure, absolutely. Team, go ahead. Biren. Kiran, can you play the anthem, please, for us?
Then you'll have to share the volume on the on your.
No, actually, I had unmuted, but it seems like it got muted again. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
just
No worries,
played
no
again.
worries.
और समाज
अब बात करेंगी बेटियां और जन जन को सुनना होगा साथ चलेंगी बेटियां हमें सफर नया चुनना होगा
पढ़ लिख जब मुंडेरों से ये आसमान को झांकेंगी
ये इस पीढ़ी की शक्ति बन अब हिस्सा अपना मानेगी
स्वावलंबी बेटियां
एक लहर उठेगी
गली गली
शोर वहाँ से आएगा समाज अपनी बेटी को स्वावलंबी बनाएगा ये समाज अपनी बेटी को स्वावलंबी बनाएगा
और समाज हमसे है हम बेटी बचाएंगे पढ़ाएंगे और आज इस बेटी को स्वावलंबी भी बनाएंगे विमेन हेल्पलाइन नंबर 011-411-94455 यानी 011-411-94455 पर आज ही फोन मिलाएं और हर बेटी को रोजगार का अवसर प्राप्त करवाएं बिटिया को स्वावलंबी बनाने में जीवितम और CSC ग्रामीण नौकरी का साथ निभाएं अधिक जानकारी के लिए लॉग इन करें aarambh.one पर Aarambh, an initiative by CSC Gramin Naukri.in and Jeevitam.com.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you so much for that. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. Okay. So I think as we maybe a few words about the anthem itself. So इसमें आपने जो मैं शुरू में कह रहा था, the lines, there's some very beautiful words. Actually, every word we can go very deep. But साथ चलेंगी बेटियां, if you notice that part, in terms of the whole feeling of inclusiveness, whole feeling of the vastness and moving together towards a mission comes alive there. The second part, सफर नया चुनना होगा. Now, ये सफर नया चुनना होगा, if you go deeper into this would mean many avenues. I think अब से थोड़ी देर पहले, I think जब सर बात कर रहे थे, तो we were talking about jobs. लड़कियां जॉब्स तक जाएं या जॉब्स लड़कियों तक आएं. So पूरा सफर नया चुनना होगा. That's the other part. समाज का inclusion to make this possible. समाज का inclusion, समाज का योगदान to make this work. I think that's the piece of responsibility which each one of us has to make sure that this mission is not only beginning from today, but it reaches the heights which we wanted to reach. The other piece which I must definitely include here, it is पहले I think मुनीश जी ने बड़े अच्छे शब्दों में से कहा था, पहले बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ बेटी को स्वावलंबी बनाओ और उसके बाद आत्मनिर्भर बनाओ. Now, if you put this whole together, it is a whole journey from samarthta to आत्मनिर्भरता. तो पहले समर्थ बने और फिर उसके बाद आत्मनिर्भर बने. I think there cannot be a better movement and a better way of putting this together. I must compliment the team once again, the Jeevitam team, our CSC team, Rishikesh ji, Munish ji. I think this is just amazing work which you have put together, and we are proud to be associated with you. And we take an oath that we will ensure that whatever best way we all can contribute and we can contribute, you will never find us waiting. So that's the piece on this part. At the end, I must also touch upon the key parts, which is the more from the 1 million woman initiative and key aspects of this, which is talking about sustainable livelihood. The word sustainable, because sustainable, because there are challenges where things begin and they stop very soon, versus a sustainable long-term livelihood. That's the mission of this program. So I really salute that. Financial inclusion, another second piece of the mission, which is again very, very critical. And we spoke about capacity building and the access to the government schemes. All of these put together make this mission so powerful. So glad to launch the anthem. It is such an honor for me and such a privilege for me. And I wish all of us the best. And I'm sure we'll go a very, very long way. And we will definitely ensure the three key, keywords: dignity, livelihood, and empowerment, and empowerment for women. Thank you so much, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you is what I can say. Thank you. Those words were very encouraging. हम लोगों का सीना तो वैसे भी फूला हुआ था, आपने और फुला दिया, गुब्बारा बना दिया हमने आज. So I think thank you so much for that. It always helps. This kind of backup, this kind of blessings, this kind of support always takes us a long way. And I would say of that 1 billion women, I'm also one. So I proudly accept all your good wishes and blessings as well. And as you rightly said, Samaj, जिसकी हम बात करते हैं, समाज अपनी बेटियों को स्वावलंबी बनाएगा. Who is the Samaj? Samaj हमसे ही है. And you know that those three words, Samaj Humse Hai, is so strong in that. When Munish shared the anthem and I said, what do you think of this? I said there could be nothing better than this, because it is simple, it is lucid, it is those simple words which appeal to all of us. If I look into it, I'm sure I find a meaning. If you listen to it, you will find a meaning. And that's what an anthem should look like as it binds us together. So thank you so much for all that you said. And I really respect, you said, हम ओथ लेते हैं. हमने तो मांगा भी नहीं सर आपसे, लेकिन आपने हमें बिन मांगे दे दिया. So thank you so much for that. We completely respect. We look up to you as an individual, the foundation that you represent, the Vadvani Foundation, and together all of you are with us. So thank you so much for that, sir.
Thank you.
As we move on, we now move into the last segment of our launch, and this is going to be very interesting because we have, as we said, Samaj, and we said our partners. ये partners कौन हैं? And हम हालांकि हम सबको तो इकट्ठा नहीं कर पाएंगे, लेकिन we have very two interesting perspectives and two interesting partners here who are representing the demand side and the supply side, if I may say that. I would want to welcome Mr. James Raffle, and he is the executive head at the Retailers Association Skill Council of India, and he again brings in the wealth of experience of managing and improving businesses with a varied experience of his adaptability to perform and excellence, managing the entire Retailers Association Skill of India. He's the one who would help the Aarambh platform to really build on the demand side of things. While he helps us doing that, I would also want to welcome Mrs. Lata Gautam, who is the Director in Charge, National Institute for Career Service and the Directorate General of Employment at the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Lata Gautam ji speaks from her heart. She's a person who brings an immense experience in different capacities in public relations, vocational guidance. You say it and she has, that information, that knowledge, those social work principles which she believes in. And, whenever we want to take the supply side of the story, we look up to Mrs. Lata Gautam. So we welcome you, ma'am. And, you would bring in the supply side of assurance to us and perspective today with us. Both of you are on a fireside chat, as we call it. It's going to be a very small, sweet talk and going to be moderated by our own Mr. Vikas Jain, who's the co-founder of Jivitam, who is a techie, as we call him, and has also representing the banking industry. So Vikas will be moderating this conversation with James and Lata. Over to you, all three of you, Vikas Jain, Mrs. Lata Gautam, and James. The platform is all yours.
Thank you, Benali. Hi, good morning, Lata ma'am, James sir. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be here with you on this platform and sharing this platform with you. And what an occasion. I think we're truly excited with what we have seen so far. And the audience would now like to hear your views on the supply and the demand side, as Benali just said. Now, and we could not have found a better person to share the views on these two sides than two of you who are there on this panel. So thank you for that. We have seen last 3 years, specifically the challenging years during COVID, there were many sectors who stood up to the challenge. And in fact, they're the ones who made it so very easy for all of us who were staying back at home, working from home, or trying to cope up with the situation by bringing those essential things to our doorsteps. Right. Retail sector is one of the key sectors who stood up the challenge, reformed itself, and the way it took up the challenge, it made life easy for all of us. Very much. So, James, sir, my first question to you, in fact, guidance from you. The situation seems to be stabilizing now. There were enough and more opportunities which were there during the COVID times. But even when the times are stabilizing, do you see there's enough demand in terms of jobs or entrepreneurship opportunities, specifically for women now?
Yes, thank you so much. Definitely, there's a lot of demand, and if I could just take a step behind, about this project, let me first share a few notes on this. So whenever me and Munish have been speaking, he said, "Don't speak about jobs, don't speak about employment." So he used to always say, "Let's speak about livelihood, hence work." So let's keep the W over there. What is Rasi's inherent capability? We've always been adept in offering jobs, employment. Actually, it means work. Let's keep the O from there. The O and W is created now. Okay. And Aarambh, the project is all about what I would term as a better gender in life, that is women. Let's take the W from there. Now, if you look at it both ways, the project is only a wow. Women offered work. And it's very exciting to embark on this journey. Now, you mentioned about COVID and post-COVID. Let me share with you one thing. Although, during the COVID period, the healthcare workers were termed as COVID warriors. I would say if they were warriors, it was a retail fraternity that was even ensuring good health of the COVID warriors. So I don't know how to term that, but that's inherent with our industry and the dedication to serve and do the fulfillment of consumers. Pre-COVID, post-COVID. Actually, if you go to see certain businesses, I would say took a quantum jump, and now it has become a way of life. So if you take the e-commerce fraternity, that is, the online businesses, a lot of startups, you take the evolution of a lot of the conventional, what I would say, kirana walas or the leading retailers also who have, gone into omni-channel to serve the consumer. You take the direct selling fraternity, that also played a major role in people-to-people business during that period and now also. And retail FMCG, the good part is previously I used to always make a statement that even global or national, level players, without taking names, the larger ones, in the FMCG business, I used to always make a statement that distribution and sales, retail sales related roles in various pin codes, predominantly in rural India, require the son of the soil because they know the beat maps and the route maps and the location, the vicinity, like the back of their hands. For this project, I'm going to say that they require daughters of the soil. Okay, and demand is not going to be an issue at all. In fact, we always start with the end in mind. So when we have been discussing with Jeevitam also, it's not that we discussed on this by just citing a 1 million number. It is the industry support that we have, which exuberates the confidence when we say, yes, we will be able to toe the line and we'll do it with style. Thank you.
Fantastic, sir. I think that's really heartening to see as to how the demand is shaping up and it's there. Now, Lata ma'am, you touch, various lives in various formats, right? I think there are millions of youth who look at your organization to help them in terms of providing the right set of opportunities, career building and others. You also touch them in terms of upskilling and others. Now, we also talked about touching a million women lives out there in terms of livelihoods, and we called it audacious project. Is there enough supply? Are there enough women candidates available to bridge this gap? The opportunities that James had just talked about, ma'am.
Certainly, Vikaji. Uh, Thank you so much for inviting me for this program. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So, from the supply side, I must say we are having enough supply of the women job seekers on our portal. Before giving any figure to the audience, I want to give the brief of the a very good project of Ministry of Labor and Employment that is called National Career Service Portal. This portal is supplying huge number of job seekers. I must tell you that we are having almost 2 lakhs active employers on the job portal. We are having 3.5 lakhs vacancy, active vacancy on the portal. We are having 1.43 CR active job seekers, and out of these 5 lakhs, 53 lakhs women job, job seekers. So there is enough supply to meet out the 1 million jobs dedicated to the women. Ministry of Labor after COVID basically introduced many things for the women. First of all, specific jobs for the women. We are having around 3,900 plus jobs opportunity. 3,900 plus jobs means the title of the job. It's not the vacancy only. It's the job. Okay, for the women's only. We are having start your own business category where they can start their own business from their home, from anywhere, anywhere from the India. And we are having basically the job of the NCS is to provide the job opportunities, self-employment opportunities, or livelihood, you can say, across India. To provide this job, we are having around 330 model career centers working in the employment exchanges building. Basically, the old employment exchanges has been converted into model career center. So we are having nowadays 330 model career centers working across India. Through these career centers, we are providing the job opportunities, the guidance, the vocational guidance, the career guidance, the career opportunities, or the what you can call the livelihood opportunity, maybe in the form of self-employment or gig economy, whatever we are discussing. And other than that, this model career center are organizing job fair across India. We are monitoring from our headquarters, Ministry of Labor and Employment, where I'm sitting at the National Career Center for Careers. So, through these model career centers, we are giving enough opportunities to the job seeker up to grassroots level. Not only this, we are having tie-ups with common service centers also, the CSCs. They nowadays they are managing our quotas, and they are also helping in us in this dissemination of information to the job seeker. See, the concept of this Aarambh, really I love this concept, and Munishji told me that we want to go for the jobs for the women's only. Being a woman, really I am impressed with the efforts and the opportunities and the basically what you can say, they are making a platform where the CSC, the NCS, the what you can say, the James from the Rasi, and all the demand supply side, training side, all the partners they are bringing into the one platform. And this is the need of ours, I tell you. Because without the effort of everyone, these employability, or you can say the unemployment situation will not improve in India, specifically for the women. So when Munish came to me, then he said, "Ma'am, this Aarambh is very big event and I want to join this." Really, I loved this concept and I was eager to meet everyone who are coming with their own schemes, their own efforts to basically strengthen the women. अभी मैंने आपका जो एंथम है वो सुना, ब्यूटीफुल वर्ड्स, ब्यूटीफुल वर्ड्स। सी मेरा अपना कॉन्सेप्ट है कि अगर महिला सशक्त तो परिवार सशक्त, और अगर परिवार सशक्त तो समाज सशक्त, और अगर समाज सशक्त तो देश सशक्त। तो अगर हमें अपने देश को सशक्त बनाना है, स्ट्रेंथन करना है, सो वुमेन को स्ट्रेंथन करना इज द foremost important. And I am very happy to share with you in my organization where I am working nowadays, you may not believe, only the 10% of the workforce is of male. It may be coincidence, but every woman is working and they are putting their heart. Basically, in government, everybody agree with me. They were thinking, no, women's na aayingi, and what they will do, they will pass the time. They will come and say, sir, give me a leave. I want to go for my home. मेरे घर में problem है, this that. I tell you, मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि जो मेरे साथ जुड़ा है, जो मेरे साथ काम कर रहा है, वो रात में 8 बजे तक भी काम करता है विदाउट एनी प्रेशर। जब वर्क आता है तो जो फीमेल अपने घर को छोड़ करके ऑफिस में आ रही है, आई टेल यू, वो लड़कियां, वो फीमेल अपने फैमिली को साइड में रख के जो वर्क को प्रेफरेंस देती है, तो मेरा सीना जो है गर्व से चौड़ा है। एंड मैं इस बारे में जरूर कहूंगी, बेसिकली लास्ट 6 मंथ में मैंने रिक्रूटमेंट किए हैं फॉर द यंग प्रोफेशनल, बिकॉज जो एमसीसीज हैं उनको एक्टिव बनाने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से एक जो रिसोर्स है दिया जा रहा है, वो है यंग प्रोफेशनल, जिसके थ्रू हम ये जो आप 1 मिलियन जॉब्स की बात कर रहे हैं, उनको हम किस तरह से सक्सेसफुली लिवलीहुड में कन्वर्ट करेंगे, उसके लिए हमारे पास एक बहुत बड़ी टीम है। ऑल ओवर इंडिया में 128 यंग प्रोफेशनल वर्किंग कर रहे हैं, और अगले 2 मंथ्स के अंदर हम और 122 यंग प्रोफेशनल लेके आएंगे, जो ऑल ओवर इंडिया में अक्रॉस दी कंट्री, मीन्स आपको नीचे कन्याकुमारी में भी और ऊपर जम्मू कश्मीर में, इधर नॉर्थ ईस्ट में, इधर गुजरात में, everywhere, every corner, I will be having my representative to look after this 1 million job. I can assure this team that my contribution will be 100% from my side, and I wish all the best to everyone. They are in this Aarambh to strengthen the women. So what I want to say here is, these 128 young professionals, 25% only the male candidates selected and 75% female candidates selected during this big interview which was happened in last 4 months. And I'm sure in next recruitment process, I will get more female candidates. I'm not biased that males are not that working, but nowadays the percentage of selection of the women are increasing. So we'll have to concentrate on the job part also. So if women participation is increasing, then तो job भी हमारे को ज़्यादा ही चाहिए. तो इसलिए ये जो आपका आरंभ है, मैं शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ आप सभी को, एंड खास तौर पे जीवितम को, मुनीष जी को, जिन्होंने इस सभी लोगों को एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाने का काम किया है. CSC एकेडमी को, आपके जो राशि के एग्जीक्यूटिव हेड हैं उनको, और जो भी टीम से जुड़ा हुआ है उन सभी को, वाधवा फाउंडेशन को. एवरी टाइम मुनीष जी वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट वाधवा फाउंडेशन कि मैम हमारे साथ बहुत काम कर रहे हैं. तो फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने सुनील जी को देखा ऑनलाइन. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी सुनील जी कि आप लोग अपने अपने हिस्से का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहे हैं वो काबिले तारीफ. मैं ऑलवेज मुनीष जी से बोलती हूँ कि विदाउट द सपोर्ट ऑफ all the NGOs, all the statistical council, all the employers, employability enhancement नहीं हो सकता, strengthening नहीं हो सकती. तो इसलिए thank you for inviting me for this program. I'm really happy this and मेरे हिस्से का जो भी contribution होगा, I'm 100% assure you to give my 100%.
मैम, यू आर आवर रोल मॉडल. यू आर रोल मॉडल एंड आपसे बड़ा इंस्पिरेशन नहीं है हमारे पास.
There are so many.
No, in fact, ma'am, as a part of Aarambh, we have this initiative of, creating the largest mentorship program for women here. 18% women workforce. If every woman can actually handle and mentor one more woman, I think we'll be able to double the capacity. But कहीं पे यहाँ पे मैं मुनीष को याद दिलाना चाहूँगा कि with you there ये एक multiplier और लग सकता है इसके अंदर बहुत आराम से. So thank you so much for your encouraging words, ma'am. James sir, coming back to the demand side, some inputs from your side. Which are the other industries which can participate in a large scale in terms of employing women, sir? And secondly, is there an opportunity or specific opportunities for women from rural areas also to participate in the growing sectors now, sir?
Thanks, Yukasji. In fact, it's a fantastic question. Let me first share, the 4 subsectors that Rashi represents. One is the, brick and mortar conventional retail, which you will typically see as a physical outlet, be it standalone or a mall. The second is retail FMCG, which is more into distribution. So in every pin code, you may not get the larger brands, but you'll get the consumables that are daily, requirements of consumers. Third is the e-commerce platform. Fourth is the direct selling fraternity. Now, what are the opportunities that, fall across these subsectors? If you go to see the direct selling fraternity, already that's one of the most progressive, I would say, platforms for entrepreneurship. It's nothing to do with the job. It's actually creating entrepreneurs. And for women, it's the most conducive, and hence, if you go to see the direct selling fraternity within India itself, has more than 70% of women participation. The good part is you can become an entrepreneur from the confines of your house. You do not even have to step out. It requires very low or minimal capital to start up. The industry itself is, if I would say, globally, which is inherent in India also, but a global, trait of this industry, focusing on, if you go to see, I call it the 3I concept. It is induct the person into the system, improve the person for which you got the person into the system, and then inspire the person to move up to the next level. So it's induct, improve, and inspire. So this is one opportunity for entrepreneurship for the women workforce. Now the second part, if you look at the e-commerce now, platforms. It would be a big boost to what I would call the gig workforce, because there are some who, because of certain reasons, cannot do a 9 to 6 type of a job or a shift type of a job. They require that flexibility and hence work, respectable livelihood, and flexible to their schedules. So this is another subsector of our industry which is thriving and is seeking participation of women workforce, be it bikers, if I have to give you an example. Okay. The third one that I would speak about is the retail FMCG distribution. That is also something which can actually enable livelihood in rural India. So these three opportunities that I spoke about, if you actually go to see, has so much of goodness that it will not even warrant for people to migrate to become economically independent. Maybe they migrate when they reach the third eye, that is inspired, because that is when they would be vertically growing in the system that they have been inducted in. They have improved themselves, which means they made themselves capable. The fourth part, which is the retail, the brick and mortar format that we have, it enables livelihood across. Now, if you go to see, it used to be tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities. Now it's going into tier 3 and tier 4 because of urbanization that is happening over there. Over a period of time, you will see a reduction in the divide between rural and urban India. And we can play a big role in this, because if you go to see, retail as an industry has always been a gender sensitive industry. And we are still struggling. If you go to see, on an average, yes, there are certain companies that have reached a mark of benchmark of 20%, 18%. At one point in time, I remember there was a leading retailer that had reached nearly around 32%. But if I have to see on an average, the industry, it hovers somewhere around 10, 11, 12%, not more than that. And that actually is something that we need to focus on. And with the support of Lataji, Jeevitam, it can be amazing, because what we are actually looking at, when you say demand and supply, we are two sides of the same coin. And when we meet, we can make magic happen. Let this be the Aarambh of this journey. And with the figures that Lataji was rattling off, maybe we'll have to revisit the target of 1 million. Maybe it will, and move it upwards. So I'm very confident of sourcing the demand, and it will be an ongoing thing. Probably we'll just keep traveling on this journey. It will be an Aarambh without a culmination.
Very true, sir. And that's why we say it's just an Aarambh. It's just a beginning. Right. And with the encouraging words that I heard from you and Lata ma'am, in terms of demand and supply and both sides of the coin, now we can see very clearly. I firmly believe that CSC, Jeevitam and all the partners who have come together in this initiative will make this really work. And I think next time on, we'll not have to put audacious as a superlative in terms of our project. I think this will become a norm. So thank you so much for your views, sir and ma'am. It's always fun talking to you, but we are a little short of time today. I really wish we had more time on our hands, but during the course of this entire project, we'll be working closely with you. We'll be taking your guidance from time to time, and would like to see it become a big success together under your. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to everyone on this auspicious launch. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vikasji, for moderating this session. Thank you, James, and thank you, Lata ma'am. You've assured us beyond a point, and a lot coming from your perspectives, two sides of the same coin. James, absolutely with you. 1 million is just a start, as I said. That's a teaser, but we always needed a thrust, an audacious goal to start with. And I thought, 1 million. Munish always runs into numbers. He's very good at, what I saw Lata ma'am also talking big numbers, and Munish has, it plays the number game, as I say. He always plays the number game. He'll just throw numbers, and you're kept wondering how will you do it. And but I think nothing seems to be impossible today after hearing all of you and witnessing all that effort and all that energy that is coming from you. And James, as you rightly said, the demand is shaping up, and thanks for assuring us that demand is shaping up. The retail industry, although it suffered a lot during the pandemic, but I think they have been silent warriors, is what I could say. And in the longer term, there are business models that are enabling and a huge transformational change. And we definitely see that the space is changing, and this transformational change, which we are referring to, will involve more and more women. Lata ma'am, to your point from the Ministry of Labour and Employment, I think the government is putting in all the efforts, all the possible efforts that a country could put in to mainstream women into the labor force, mainstream labor force, and become a part of the contributing economy. So we completely respect, and we know we have an ambassador within you, within the ministry, within the government of India, wherever and whenever we want to reach out. So thank you for that assurance from both sides of the coin. I think we hold the coin with us, and we know which to flip when we need it. Thank you so much for your support always. Vikasji, thank you so much for your patient moderating the simple man that you are, with what of patience that you hold. Thank you so much for bringing in your side of the story as well. Thank you so much. We now would, it's what do we call it, the vote of thanks. This is the most boring part of the program, but I have some very important thing to share. So just hold on for one more minute. I would say thank you all for your time today. We have come to the end of the soft launch of Aarambh. But an Aarambh cannot be an end. Aarambh is the beginning. The whole meaning of the word is a beginning. How can it end? It is the start of wishes, aspirations, and dreams of those millions of women and girls whom we aspire to reach. And I count themselves one amongst them. Today, the entire Jeevitam team thanks one and all for your participation, encouragement, and support in making Aarambh come alive today. Please mark your diaries for the 8th of March, 2023. And I repeat, please mark your diaries for 8th of March, 2023, which is again a day which is celebrated, it is recognized and rejoiced as the International Women's Day, when we plan to have something which I may call it larger than life in-person event of Aarambh. By then, from 2nd of October today to the 8th of March 2023, we would have traveled more than a mile and would have more to talk about, more to share about, of lives of women we have touched. Be with us in this process. We are all looking up to you. Have a great day. Jai Hind. Biren, can I request you for putting on the anthem, please? Yes, Munish.
You just now said me something. I'm the number person, right?
Yes, please.
The Lata man here, with Rishikesh sir here, with Sunil sir here, with Ramiz here, right? And with James there, right? One of the things which I will like to set for again, and as a point which I am making, that by 8th March, man, we all, Jeevitam, Benali, everyone, right? Yes. And can we look 1 million people by? I keep saying, why don't when we look, जब सोचना ही है तो बड़ा सोचो. And always say we undermine CSC. CSC, 17 crore people are registered on eShram portal by CSC, right? Let us CSC around, I think we are setting a lower term for them with NCS around to bring in with James there. I think let's work for Aarambh with everyone is possible. Sorry, I took one point, Benali. मैं नंबर वाला हूं तो आपने बोल दिया
No, it's good to have the numbers as people say, and as the professional world says, what gets measured gets done. So I think we should definitely have the numbers, and numbers often become a driving force and a measurable impact for all of us. So happy to have you barge in, Munish, and that number game is very important because all of us get carried away by that. So great, thank you so much for all of it. Jai Hind, and it's wonderful to have all of you in this process together. Biren, can I request you to play the anthem once again as a closing note? Thank you so much.
अब बात करेंगी बेटियां और जन जन को सुनना होगा, साथ चलेंगी बेटियां हमें सफर नया चुनना होगा। पढ़ लिख जब मुंडेरों से ये आसमान को झांकेंगी, ये इस पीढ़ी की शक्ति बन अब हिस्सा अपना मानेगी।
स्वावलंबी बेटियां,
एक लहर उठेगी गली गली, शोर वहाँ से आएगा, समाज अपनी बेटी को स्वावलंबी बनाएगा, ये समाज अपनी बेटी को स्वावलंबी बनाएगा।
और समाज हमसे है, हम बेटी बचाएंगे, पढ़ाएंगे और आज इस बेटी को स्वावलंबी भी बनाएंगे। विमेन हेल्पलाइन नंबर 011-411-94455 यानी 011-411-94455 पर आज ही फोन मिलाएं और हर बेटी को रोजगार का अवसर प्राप्त करवाएं। बिटिया को स्वावलंबी बनाने में जीवितम और CSC ग्रामीण नौकरी का साथ निभाएं। अधिक जानकारी के लिए लॉग इन करें aarambh.one पर। Aarambh, an initiative by CSC ग्रामीण नौकरी and jeevitam.com.
Thank you, Biren. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.